Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we will have a look at how you can enhance your chord progressions and how to make them sound a little bit more interesting. I give you a few tips on how you can layer chords and use sound design so that your chords don't get boring over time. My first example is with a piano and a pad sound. I really like to use a piano with a complementary pad sound that is light and airy. So let's look now at the first sound. So here is the piano. So now we go to the second sound, and for the second sound I use the same chord progression. So I copy this one and I duplicate it over here. And also over here. Now I have my chord progression and now I need a synth. So I use pigments for my light synth and it sounds like this. I really like this sound, but I would like to thin out my chord progression a little bit. So to make a change for my chord progression, the first bars need to be lighter. So I will delete all the low notes and only keep the high notes. So I do it like this. Now the first part sounds like this. And that is what I'm looking for. Let's listen now how this sounds together with my piano. I feel that the lower notes are still a little bit too much, so I will take those ones out. To make my pad sound even less heavy, I will use a low cut. And I will dip this one. I want it like this. Now it's time for reverb, and I like to use the Valhalla Supermassive. Now I have my sound, and the next thing that I do is to use automation. I can do a volume automation, so I go here to mixer and then to volume. I want the sound to be a little bit more in the background, so I have it set now. And here in the middle, I want to give a little bit more room to my piano sound. So here in the middle, I go down. And here for the beginning, I would like to make a little bit of a fade in. My next method that I really like is to make use of granular synthesis. I use the Arpeggio fragments for this. I really like this one. So I have here my chord progression and it sounds like this. I would like to copy this chord progression here in the beginning and take out the lower notes. Here I will take out the lower notes. And then I can decide for this higher note to go an octave down so that it is a little bit more subtle how we go here into this progression. So now we go into the first granular synthesis layer. I have duplicated this sound and I only use the upper notes to make a really shimmery sound. And with fragments, I have here my pitch up to 24 and I use this preset from a sequence to verb. So the original sound is coming in here and gets recorded. Now I create grains, and with the grains I can play around. Also over here I like to do some track volume automation. I make a few points so I can add a little bit. I can go down here. So that makes already for a really interesting sound. Here you can see the next layer, so that is this one. For this sound I use the Arpeggio and then the classic ARP, and then I cut it off, then it goes into my fragments. So I use a unique shimmer preset. From there I go also in a reverb. I have here my next sound, and that is a pad sound. It sounds like this. You can hear the long notes and this very atmospheric. What I then like to do is to use an arpeggio sound as a second layer and then combine both of them. Here's my second sound, which I will layer now with the first one. This one has the same chord progression, and I use the same synth. This synthesizer has an arpeggiator that I really like. You can also use the arpeggiator from Ableton or from a different program or plugin that you use, but I will now go for this one. So the sound was in static notes like this. Here you will hear it now with arpeggio on, so you can decide the timing over here and here also different patterns. I like now this random one, and here you see the different octaves that you can play, and then it sounds like this. So I don't want to do this by hand, so I can use an LFO to make this movement. So I configure here the octave range, and then I use my LFO. And I map the LFO over here. Now this goes up and down, but actually I want that it goes randomly. Here you can click on random. So now I get a more random pattern. I can go faster if I want to, or I go a little bit slower. So and then it sounds like this. So let's listen now how it sounds together with the pad. You can use this technique for any genre, and it can help you to build your songs with more variation. Let me know in the comments what you do to make your chord progressions more interesting, and I'll see you the next time.